On today's show, we are discussing the differences between a job and a business.
Most entrepreneurs fall into the wrong habits. They're working on transactional work all day long. By the end of the show, you're going to figure out how to take that, move it over to high-level business activities. I hope you're doing that right now, but if you're not, check it out right now.
Hey guys, Chris and Jason here. Today we are talking about the difference between a job and a business. And we're going to discuss a few things, frankly, because this comes up all the time with business owner friends of ours. And to be honest, like as a small business owner, you are going to have both a job and a business. It's hard to be all in one or the other, or it could actually be, possible to be all in the job side. But we're going to break down a few things, and the important part here is to just think about your own routine, your own day, your own week, and notice about the things that you are doing and categorize them as job or business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, somebody who thinks they want to get into starting a business don't even realize it. They're like, I had such a busy day. I worked on this, I worked on this, I worked on that. And it's like, that's great. That pretty much, we've used the term offense and defense before. Some people may be offended based on that, but you shouldn't, because there's, as we put in this whiteboard, and we're going to talk about these one by one, but as you put it, there's job activities, and then there's business activities that have to be done on a regular basis. It's up to you if you want to divide them into like 50-50 throughout your day, but they're
50 would be strong.
Equally important. They're equally important. You can't be heavy on this side and not on this side. And on the other side, you can't just be doing straight high-level growth activities all day long and not watching what's going on inside your business. That's also a recipe to failure. So they go both ways.
For sure, yeah. But the main trap here, and why this comes up so often with friends, is that people just get completely stuck in their transactions, and they're doing them all day long, and they feel much more like they have a super busy job, not so much a business. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to avoid there.
Exactly, and what happens is you're a year, 2, 3 years down the road, and you're like, I'm making okay money, but I'm really, really busy, and I'm grinding, and then an easy response is, you know what? You can make that exact same salary working across the street at your competitor, and you can work 9 to 5, and you don't have to have any of the liability or any of the stress or any of the other burden on you. So again, all of these things we're talking about are important, but make sure on a regular basis you are doing all of these things.
Yep.
So again, the transaction part's pretty simple. It doesn't matter what business you're in, whatever your transaction stuff. Don't get caught too much inside each individual transaction. If you're investing in real estate, you can't do everything inside that. You need to help to offload some of those things. If you sold a property today, great, you should sell properties every day, but that's a transactional thing. Just because you sold a property today doesn't mean that you're setting up the future or you're setting up activities for selling more properties in the future.
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump over to the other side real quick and talk about some of the high-level business owner stuff that should definitely be a focus every day. Could it be 50-50 between job and business? I don't know. But as long as something business owner-wise is getting done every day, you're going to be in a much, much better spot. The real mistake is to say, oh, okay, as soon as I get done with all my transactions, with all my job, then I'll do some business owner stuff, right?
Yep.
And that's a big mistake. And maybe even prioritizing at the beginning of the day your business owner stuff before you get bogged down with all the transactions could be a good strategy.
I mean, they say the most important stuff should be done first thing in the day while it's fresh in your mind. Yep. And then you say, hey, this stuff was completed. What's a better feeling than getting your core stuff completed before everything even starts?
Yeah, and then feel free to get bogged down in all your transactions for the day. But some of these examples are, if you're building, I used the word building here a couple times because that's really what it is when you're the business owner. Anything that you would consider building an operation, a machine, like marketing, like financial stuff, like operations, that's the business owner stuff. The opposite of the transactional. So if you could come in the morning and work on a couple of those types of things before you get swamped, just running your day-to-day, I think that would be a good way to go.
Yeah, it's your operation. So the reason you have to do this is you want to set it up the way that you feel is best, of the way that you want to run your company. It's hard to assign a staff member, a virtual assistant, or somebody some of these things. Now keep in mind, a lot of these things can eventually turn into tasks or turn into someone that's operating that job. Some of the marketing systems and stuff like that. But the overall high level of kind of setting it up, you got to be involved in, and it's important.
Yeah, for sure. So think about your business. If you're in real estate, tech stuff, attorneys, my lawyer friend who has a law firm, this is a very, very common thing because they have to do so much lawyering and they can't delegate that. But mind you, that's transactional stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a difficult thing for professionals like lawyers and accountants and architects, stuff like that.
Doctors, dentists, all that.
Doctors for sure, because only a doctor can doctor. You can't just send one of the staff in to be like, yeah, go take care of this patient real quick. It's just not how that works. I'm going to go play golf. Can you see my patients today? You can't do that. And that's the challenging thing about professionals and the job versus business idea, is that there's just a lot of it that can't be delegated.
Yeah, and you figure, but that's all right. You still figure out the best way to do that. And you know what? Maybe the answer is you do slightly less client work, in order to work on a better system, or maybe bring in higher level clients. And again, maybe you have the exact transaction job description that you already want in place, and if that's the case, then that's great. I would agree that you'd still need to work on some of these things on a regular basis. Maybe you say, hey, I'm a professional, I'm billing out $300 an hour, and maybe I want to bill out $350 an hour. Okay, so maybe you do slightly less transactional, or some of your client work, maybe you do slightly less than that and take on the higher level clients, or you work on ways to free up some time so you can figure out systems or other marketing strategies to bring in higher level clients. I mean, you got to get creative with this. And I think the reason that a lot of people fall in this trap is we're all creatures of habit, and all of a sudden you create yourself a job over here, and it's just a habit of, hey, I'm stuck in court from 9 to 5, or I'm stuck, at this client's office working with them from 9 to 5, or whatever the case is. Right. And it's like, I don't have free time. Well, you got to figure out a way to create free time. And you know what? Maybe that 9 to 5 turns into 9 to 6, and then that extra hour does some of these things until you figure out a way to free up some of your time to do that. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking one step back to take 2 steps forward. Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, definitely. A lot of people, especially starting out, we've all done the night and weekend sort of game, and over time you can pull back from that. Or like blocking days. When you were saying that, I was just thinking about a friend of mine who's a dentist in Florida, and he has said to me, like, in his week, he doesn't do dentistry on Mondays and Thursdays. Those are his business owner days.
Great.
He's doing all the managerial.
Great time block.
Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays he's not seeing patients, and there are other dentists who can, and that's how he's broken it out so that he can really have time and be disciplined about focusing on those high-level business owner activities. Smart way to go about it.
And I know a lot of people think these transactional stuff is sexy. You became a doctor because you want a doctor. You became a real estate investor because you enjoy real estate. But I promise you, you think these are harder, right? And they're harder because they're harder because you're not used to it. And it's just stuff that you're not doing on a regular basis. But over time, this is the stuff that's become sexy to us. Monitoring financials. Who doesn't want to, as a business owner, who doesn't want to count their money?
I love
or know how much money that they have that they're bringing in and stuff like that. Yeah. Who doesn't want to say, hey, know the actual statistics of your marketing campaigns that say, with this marketing campaign, we're bringing an average client in of $300. At this marketing campaign, we're bringing an average client of $350. Like, having a grasp on that. And again, you may need support with this. You need to bring consultants in, or you may need to, whatever, bring an partner to help you with some of these things. But this is what you need to gravitate towards. Most people are 100% over here. Gravitate to free up your day, to free up your time, to get a little bit more involved in this, and really, really, really trust us on this. Try to get it to a 50-50 mix. 50-50 mix is where it's at.
50-50 very strong.
Obviously, you don't just want to be, looking at financial reporting all day and other stuff. You started a business probably because you really, really, really do enjoy these things.
Sure.
You do enjoy your clients. You do enjoy working on transactions. You may even enjoy managing your employees. Day in, day out. Some people may. But regardless of that, really try to diversify your day into all of these things, and hey, it's a good formula for success.
Yep, and first things first, just understand the difference between this and that, and then you're going to be a step ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah, any other comments or any other questions or comments related to this, feel free to comment below in this video. Again, we like to share these with the community. We have a lot of business owner and entrepreneur followers, and your comments truly, truly help other people, because there's so many types of businesses out there, and everyone's in different spaces, and although they're all in different spaces, they're all kind of mold into one of being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. So everyone could certainly use your help. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for following us.
See you.